How is everybody doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about our next attacker coming in version 1.5 alongside Astra, who I think is an absolutely amazing character. But this one specifically, looking at our next attacker, which is going to be Evelyn, she has quite a few things up her sleeve that not many attackers have. And I do think she has some stuff that is going to allow her to compete with some of the anomaly characters, because I do think with having a character that gets stronger as time goes by, this just allows you to not brute force your way through some stuff, but definitely allows the player that knows how to use her kit to the fullest be able to clear stuff very quickly. Because for the most part, she has a lot of boost in her kit. She has a lot of different states in her kit that allows her to do way more damage for an extended period of time. And of course, we're going to go ahead and talk about all of that. But one of the main things is that she is going to allow herself to gain some crit rate when she gets the rope tied around the enemy, which is around her 5th basic attack, and you get to keep it even when they're out of it. So this allows you to actually get the extra crit rate, and that's pretty nice because that makes it a little bit more consistent. And you do get some enhanced basic attacks as well when you are using the bar that you see to the top left. Once you get it past that little meter, you are going to be able to gain 2 basic attacks, which can be stringed from your skills as well. So that's going to be really nice. Now when you do end up using these basic attacks that are enhanced, or you go into the states, you will be getting these points that you see in the top left. And once you get 3, that's where some craziness starts to happen, because when you get 3, you're actually able to shortcut your way to doing a chain attack, which I think is pretty nasty, because as you may know, a lot of these attackers chain attacks either give them massive buffs or do a crap ton of damage. So the fact that you're able to potentially go ahead, do your basic attacks, get your enhanced ones in, get your skills in, and once you do have enough points, you do your chain attack, boom, they're dazed. So guess what? That's another chain attack. And you go back straight into Evelyn doing a second chain attack, which means that's going to be some absolutely massive damage. That's really nice that they're giving utility like this to an attacker, because with the characters like the anomaly team, with us having Jane specifically, Jane benefits a lot from chain attacks. And that's another thing that is definitely going to be looking towards something like Astra, where she's able to give characters chain attacks where they're not supposed to as a quick assist. That's going to look really, really cool, I'm not going to lie. But looking at a character like Evelyn, where she's able to shortcut her way to a chain attack, that gives them the feel of having something like Jane, where you prioritize getting as many chain attacks as possible with Jane. That way you keep her passion state filled up almost to max every single time she has it. So that's a pretty good thing, that we're giving the attackers the synergy and also the potential to do as good as some of these anomaly characters, which I think is really nice. And having that shortcut chain attack just seems so nasty. I definitely want to see what buffs come with it, and also how much damage it does, because man, that's really, really cool. Now, one cool thing that we have from this is that you are going to get a grouping CC. We don't know how big the CC is realistically, because the enemy that we just saw right in front of us was pretty close to them. But as you may know, a lot of them got really close together as soon as she did the skill. So if we're assuming that little circle that we saw just now being the CC range, might not be as crazy, but definitely does help her in one way or another. As you can see, there's a little bit of a range right there between the two characters, and it did pull them closer together. This does help Evelyn. It does help whoever else is on the team. As you can see, they have Ambi and Nicole. This is just 2 forms of CC that you could technically use to group characters together, having Nicole, having Evelyn, making sure they're all right close together, so you don't have to worry about having to go ahead and fight somebody else across the stage. So hopefully this is a little bit bigger range than what we expect, but realistically, having a CC period is just really good overall. Another thing that's really great is that when you have the binding string on them and you end up using your dodge, you can actually do some damage with it and get the chain attack, man, because you get the burning embers, which you see in the top left, when you end up doing so. So that's absolutely beautiful that you're able to do something like that. Holy crap, that's so cool. Man, this character is so fun. You're gonna have to pay attention to not only the bar itself, how many points you have, and also when you're going to be using that chain attack, because you want to use it as often as possible, but you also want to make sure that you're not doing it when you don't need to. You want to kind of chain those chain attacks together, because that's a lot of damage right together. And as you can see, she has some really good AoE. I'm not gonna lie, that's really, really nice. That's when that chain attack happens again, boom, and then I think we get another one off. Oh no, they didn't go back into the chain, but there was one character, as you can see flashing right there. There is a character that could have been chained once more, and then Evelyn could have came back in, which would have been really cool. And then the ultimate is what I find really nasty. with the ult, you're actually able to reduce the amount of times it takes to get to your chain attack, which I think is really cool. Having that ability to get one less point, and now you only need 2 to be able to use your chain attack. This means you're gonna get into a lot more damage a lot quicker. And apparently when you're using your ultimate a second time, this actually makes it so that your basic attack is permanently able to do the enhanced version the whole time. Holy crap, that's going to be insane for longer timed periods, I guess you could say, of your DPS. Because when it comes to the towers, if they're tanky, when it comes to the shield defenses after you use your second ultimate, which is going to be a little hard, especially with this update that we have with the 3 ultimates, it is still around the same amount of time, I would say, to get an ultimate across the board. But getting it on a specific character twice in one Shiyu run is definitely going to be a big difference, just because although you are getting that massive boost of power, that is going to take some time, because Evelyn will have to be on the field for quite some time. So we have zero idea how that's going to work and how that's going to synergize with having a character like a stunner, like maybe like Chingy, or maybe having a character like Nicole, or whoever else you're going to add on the team. I'm assuming Astra is definitely going to be a character who's going to be right next to Evelyn with their same faction bonus. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a thing. But looking at Evelyn specifically, this character is just going to get insane as time goes by, and we are potentially, I'm thinking, seeing a buff for Soldier again, just because if you think about it, with every fire character that comes out, Soldier gets another character that allows them to get burned, which allows them to actually be able to proc the crit rate set for her, allowing her to do damage. So if you have a character like Astra and you have a character like Evelyn with Soldier, and they're both going back to back fire, maybe Soldier's able to do some crazy damage now, because they're going to be able to do chain attacks non-stop, and this allows someone like Soldier 11 to get the suppressive fire mode non-stop. I think this is a really cool thing to have for the character, and I really do think Evelyn is a really interesting character for the attack class. We don't know. I don't know specifically, unless her numbers are cracked, and how fast can we get her ultimate to come out, if she's gonna be worth it as an attacker. I do think with Astra Yao's inclusion, she's probably gonna be nasty, just because it seems like that's gonna be the way they balance some of the attackers with some of the anomaly characters. We're gonna have to see how they synergize with both classes, if Astra is gonna be okay with anomaly, if Astra is gonna be more centered towards attackers, which I'm assuming that might be the case. But Evelyn is definitely going to be a monster as time goes by. I cannot wait to see how that double ultimate damage is going to look like, because I feel like you're just going to melt everything at that point. It's like a ticking time bomb. Once you get your first ultimate out, you get a little boost of damage, because now you need 1 less point to get your chain attacks off. And then whenever you get your second ult off, the stage is done. You're basically going to finish, do your base attacks, the game is over, you're done. So I cannot wait to see how that's going to pan out for this character. And the fact that she has boost in her kit that we have seen right now, where she's able to give herself crit rate, she's also able to attack off field for a short amount of time. And then lastly, we don't know what's inside her kit. So I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. She looks really strong. AoE wise and CC wise, she looks like she's going to be pretty good at that as well, with her being able to take out a bunch of enemies in a smaller proximity, similar to what some of the anomaly characters can do. So I cannot wait to see how that's going to work out. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what y'all guys think about Evelyn, and see y'all in the next one, and peace.